Some of the things that have been leaked out by Overlord DVD have been confirmed.
All right, this is it, people. Let's move. Let's go, go, go,
go. What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and I was alerted that I didn't have the train running in the last few videos, so I made sure to get that thing chooching for you. Now, there are some interesting spoilers that have been confirmed, some that have not been confirmed. I'm not going to cover any of that in the first half of this video. If you genuinely just want to hear about the George Lucas thing, then I will tell you before I move to that, okay? Now, rumor was, I think Overlord DVD, who basically had almost all of his leaks entirely proved true yesterday. What a great moment for him after a lot of the Star Wars shill media decided that to smear the man and try and discredit him. He also pointed out that, or at least his title said, that George Lucas was quote-unquote banned from the premiere of The Rise of the Skywalker due to some unpleasantness between J.J. Abrams, Disney, Bob Iger, and himself. Is it true? It's difficult to say. What we know is that there is a list of Rise of the Skywalker special guests, which included people from the film like Mark Hamill, Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, Adam Driver, Oscar Isaac, Naomi Aki, and Anthony Daniels, and many more. Then, of course, special guests. Now, this is where I would have expected to see George Lucas's name, because you had people like Harrison Ford and many previous actors here listed here. Amy Adams, Elizabeth Banks, all sorts of a who's who of people. Then you even have, if you want to go, okay, well, he shouldn't have been in the special guests category. Well, how about directors and filmmakers like Steven Spielberg was there, Jon Favreau was there, Spike Lee was there, all sorts of Hollywood people, Deborah Chow, many, many more. No George Lucas. In fact, no mention of him anywhere. And when you look around on the web, I've seen some takes where it was like, well, why was George Lucas even there? And if you listen to what Overlord DVD says, you know, he expands on it a little bit, you know, that it may be from grading in the past, because Lucas kind of got it out there that he wasn't really happy with the new trilogy, and Disney's probably trying to distance themselves from him and the old guard, the old fans. We see this in why they've decided to stop making trilogies.
Once again, Disney, according to my source, ignored George Lucas, trashed not only his outlines for the sequel, but also his own personal ending for the saga. Even with that invitation, I doubt George Lucas would have wanted to be there to witness the final butchering of his vision, the final trashing of his galaxy far, far away.
But interestingly enough, there's been a lot of nothing surrounding George Lucas and his take on the movie. But we've seen now ramping up anybody who's bringing this up, or anybody who's criticizing the film, as somebody here who works at Anime News Network, Zach Bertsky, says, the YouTube social media shoutmen, parentheses, almost 100% angry, straight, white, cis guys. Yeah, you mean the people that buy 75% of the tickets to Star Wars? I mean, okay, whatever. Have turned, quote, I hate Star Wars into cottage industry for likes and subscribers from easily led morons. Like what you see it for yourself, make up your own mind. Now, this is coded shillery. Essentially, it's no different kind of memeing on Star Wars as it would be to be overly positive about it. Yet nobody has a problem with shills. It's only when you're pointing out, you know, the criticisms and ways you would improve the series, then all of a sudden you're a bad problem. And he goes on a long tirade where he eventually says, literally every piece of pop culture that gets big enough to show in your feed at some point will be turned into some BS GG style social media rage war by angry conservative straight men who want validation from the internet. Again, Literally what? He goes on to say, these folks are grifters. Yeah, like the mainstream media isn't grifting too. Like every endless article calling the fandom toxic, hoping that we'll react to it and send traffic their way isn't grifting. We've seen websites literally say this out loud. I believe it was Eurogamer that famously tweeted out, haha, thanks for your hate clicks or something like that. It was really pathetic. And they write these articles on purpose. Hate bait is literally a business practice of websites like Kotaku. Polygon to a lesser extent. Polygon has kind of kept their head down recently, and it shows as their traffic continues to grow. But then he goes on to finish, you can practically set your watch to how predictable the behavior is, so it's best just to ignore, mute, turn them off the second their angry little screaming white faces show up in your feed. Giving them attention at all enables them. Enjoy life, do what you want. So criticizing the movie, you shouldn't criticize the movie. You should just, consume product and then prepare yourself to be excited about the next product. I mean, that's essentially what the guy is saying. Even though, all right, all these angry cis white men saw when Star Wars themselves tweeted out today, see Star Wars Rise of the Skywalker in theaters on Friday. And it says, this will be the final word in the story of Skywalker. Star Wars, the Rise of Skywalker. Look what happens to them in the replies. They get completely blown out by their own fans. No, shut up. Are you really sure that it will be the final word? Silence, no. Sorry, but no. Everybody's replying to them saying they're not interested. Nobody wants to see it anymore. I mean, there's just so much negativity around these films. Now, I'm telling you that I won't. Of course, this movie's going to make $1 billion. I mean, if Captain Marvel can make $1 billion, the finale in a Star Wars trilogy can absolutely, positively make $1 million. But you see so much, and the word is apathy. I just don't care anymore. This is so disrespectful. Haha, no. Nobody wants to see it all the way down. Where are all the fans? I thought everybody was so happy with the Disney Star Wars. Best I've felt in years, and he shows he's refunding the tickets that he bought to the movie. I don't know. I don't want people to feel bad liking a thing. If you like it, you like it. To me, it would be shocking if as a popcorn film it was bad. It would be shocking. And now I'm saying that is by normal cinema standards. That is not Star Wars standards. A lot of people felt like that about The Last Jedi. Like it was a beautifully shot movie and it was decent, but as a Star Wars film, it failed. That might be what we see with The Last Jedi. And now some of the things that have been leaked out by Overlord DVD have been confirmed. Before I get into that, if you don't want to see it, now is the time to bail. But before you do, make sure you leave a like, you leave a comment down below, maybe pause the video if you have to. And then there's a new channel in the pinned comment that puts all of my videos for the day in one long episode. So if you're someone that likes to just listen to it when it's all done or later in the day, make sure you subscribe and turn notifications on for there. The videos will come out at like 6 or 7 at night, my time. So you can just catch up on all the day's news later that night or the next day if that's what you want. So now, on to the spoilers. Almost everything that was proclaimed by Overlord DVD was correct. The mechanical arm, robotic thing of Palpatine, Rey's yellow lightsaber, the Wayfinder, getting the lightsaber from Leia. You can see a lot of the replies. That's great, but how long until I can get Leia's lightsaber as an FX Black Series? Will it be out for Christmas? I mean, the merch and all that. And then we also see a clip. Now, one of the big things in the movie, one of the big leaks was that the end of the movie ends with Rey and BB-8 staring off into the sunset or multiple sunset. That was a very specific detail that leaked out from the same source that leaked all these other details. And we saw that video of that confirmed, clips of that surfaced on the internet. Now, somebody who goes by Sabri said, I saw Rise of the Skywalker on Saturday night. I won't spoil anything because I think there are a few wonderful surprises. But let's say but let's just say 90% of those leaks are true. Not a terrible movie in execution, though. That's kind of where I find it to be. Now, I feel conflicted about rewarding mediocrity. So a viewer of the channel actually has a work thing where they rented out the whole theater on Friday, and he emailed me and he's like, do you want to come? That way you don't have to feel like you paid for it. And maybe I'll go to that just so I can, you know, report on seeing it. But I'm not rushing out to pay money for it. One of the big leaks, though, one of the big conspiracy theories, or theories, not conspiracy theory, one of the theories was that Brie Larson would be in this film as a guest star. And I was hoping it would be true, but I can now confirm today that it is not true. There is no Brie Larson in the film.
This is great!
Some of the questions you might be asking. I was interested to see, you know, is Brie Larson in it? No, she's not. But Ahsoka is in it, at least part of her voice. How about, does Luke's Force Ghost actually do anything? How about that? There's actually a very interesting scene where I understood it's a big FU to Abrams from Rian Johnson. Rey wants to throw her lightsaber just like Luke did in The Last Jedi, but Luke's ghost stopped her. That could be a good spicy scene. I'm not going to go through every little thing because I still want people to enjoy the movie itself. Here's a question of somebody who saw it, who's a fan. Is the movie grade A trash, or is achieved legendary trash status? Do you think this mess will be a financial success? Well, I can answer. Of course it will be. Sabrina says, box office nowadays is completely unpredictable. Look at Captain Marvel. The biggest mess the MCU gave us still made $1 billion. As a movie, it's fun. As a Star Wars movie, it needs cohesion that relies on the saga of 8 movies. It's trash. Rose Tico, barely in the movie. That's a shame. I'm really disappointed to hear that. Depressed, in fact. I wanted more Rose Tico. If she could star, if she had turned out to be like a Jedi and turned out to be really the new real Skywalker, then I would be really, really interested. The question on whether or not Rey is really a Palpatine, the answer is yes. Rey is a Palpatine. It's not really explained, and Palpatine's return really isn't explained either. There's approximately 5 minutes in the film. No one's been able to tell me, what do the Knights of Ren do? Does Chewbacca fight them in the desert planet? I know they beat the heck out of Kylo Ren, and then he destroys them with Rey's Force tweets him at Leia's lightsaber. But do they say anything? Any sweet scenes? They're only in the movie for 5 minutes. Kylo Ren, does he achieve redemption? Yes, he does. The big question is there a kiss between Kylo Ren and Rey? Absolutely. There's really no conclusion on how Leia passes in the film. She just kind of fades away and goes on. Basically, most of the leaks that came out were correct. I still say that, you know, I don't think any of this changes whether or not I would see the movie. My biggest gripe is that, again, Rey, a Mary Sue, is propped up by the failures of men and then saved by men, but worshipped as a strong, independent woman. The idea that Kylo Ren kills himself to, or ends himself to save Rey is ridiculous. I mean, I get it. It's emotional, but it's frustrating to me because if Rey is so super powerful, I don't know. The modern day Disney Star Wars franchise is a mess. Whether it's not inviting George Lucas, whether it's having a clear problem with leaks, having a misunderstanding of what the fandom wants. And look, I understand you're never going to please everybody, but yikes. A lot of these leaks are pretty cringy. But you know what? If you enjoy the movie, cool. And I don't mean that like in a sarcastic, tongue-in-cheek way. You should enjoy the things that you want to enjoy and don't let other people ruin them for you. If you like the movie, cool. I hope you do. If you don't like the movie, that's a bummer. All we can really hope for is that Disney gets their act together on Star Wars, but I'm not seeing any real changes or signs that they will in the near future. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.